Oh, man, we're going to get it in the first take, son.
Here we go.
Let's
Car
do
Guy
this.
Coffee Podcast. Let's brew. Come on. That's right.
You know it.
Car Guys and Car Gals, welcome. First things first, everyone. Forgive, focus, fly. Yo, yes, sir. You know what's up. We are excited for you joining us on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast today. This is Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
This is Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And we are Brewin Solutions, talking about the birthing of a business, birthing of a brand.
Yes, sir. We're going to be doing that, bringing you the fresh news, bringing you some buyer's tips. Don't forget the Car Guy Confession session.
We're going to have some good times, some good laughs, some good heart-to-hearts. We're going to get real inside of this incredibly hard-to-believe 9th episode of Car Guy Coffee Podcast. Thank you all you solutionaries for listening in to us. Welcome to the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. Let's brew.
Wow, man. Episode 9, Lou.
Here we are.
We are, man. We're here. And it seems like it just was yesterday that we did our very, very, very first podcast. So it's really satisfying to be at number 9. Can't believe the next one is 10. Wow.
Yeah, we are moving faster and faster and faster, and it's getting more and more exciting, especially hearing the great feedback from everybody that we're talking to about just being able to listen in and hear something that's positive. I haven't heard anybody pick out anything that's negative. I know that we're not perfect at speaking. We're not perfect at doing what it is that we do inside of our entire approach to everything. But, man, we work hard. We put in effort, and we try to continuously perfect our craft. And it's exciting that we have people that are trying to help us do that and are enjoying us helping them do that. You know, that's iron sharpens iron. It's working together.
I think one thing that they can never tell us that we don't have, I think everyone knows we have tons of passion. You know, they can't say we don't. And we're out here doing things, doing crazy hours. You know, currently right now I'm looking at the clock. It is 2:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are up. We're not even close to being done tonight, and we're not even complaining about it. You know, years ago, I would have complained about some stuff like this, and nowadays, I look forward to stuff like this. You know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know, people will say, I don't have time, but I say I will find time. So I will always find time to make something I'm very passionate about happen. There's plenty of minutes in the day, plenty of seconds in a day. You know, it's all about building this brand that we're trying to build, and that's what our show's about. And we've been building this Car Guy Coffee brand, this Brewing Solutions brand, this you know, get you some brand, this whole thing, the Car Guy Cafe. It's all a brand that we're trying to put out there because that is the future. If you're in sales, if you're in anything to do with making money, doing and giving and offering or whatever it is, you have to build your brand because people have to know who you are. They have to be excited about who you are, and they got to know what you're about. You know, and the brand will do that for you. Getting out there, networking, and seeing all these other people who are branding themselves and making such a big deal about building their brand and making their brand the way it is. I see it. I see it very, very much so, and I see how much 5 years from now, how much bigger it's going to be. So. Jump on it. Jump on the bandwagon. We are here to help. Today's episode's all about that. What do you think about that, Lou?
Well, I think that it's something that most people don't understand that they're actually doing the moment that they sign up for social media, the moment they put themselves in a public sphere, the moment they interact with another person in any way, shape, or form, they are building their brand. So people are going to know you as a certain person. So your MO, if you will, or your reputation, and for short, that is your brand. So understanding that that's what you're doing in every step of what you are, it really makes you learn how to step more intentional. You know what I mean? Where you're actually taking steps in a direction that you is building your brand, or is advancing your brand, or is getting you away from things that are destructive to your brand. You know what I mean? If I'm being considered across a sales floor and I'm on the floor with 20 other guys and I am trying to find a way to compete amongst them, the one thing that I want to make sure is that at least the brand that I am, my management or my facilitators are knowing of who it is that I am, knowing that my brand is going to produce profit for them, knowing that it belongs inside of my lane. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I want to make sure that that's what it is that they know. Now, the brand with my customer, I want my customers to know that I am the car guy. When you think about a car, you think about the car guy. You think about me. If you know me as the car guy. Is a brand building way to flow. There's many people that have built their brand tremendously and great inside of this business, and I have, had the chance to learn from so many different people, read about so many, take so much from so many different people, and the main vein throughout all of it is going to still be build your brand. It doesn't matter what side of sales you're on. It doesn't matter what your product is.
Right.
Building and birthing a brand is a challenge, especially birthing it. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Birthing that brand, it's something that's inside of you that you're trying to get out. And then eventually it's out. Now it's there. Now other people can see it. Now you're accountable to it. You can't just ignore that anymore. If a person has a child and that child goes missing, they say, hey, what happened to the child you had? You had a child. Where did that go? Oh, I stopped taking care of it and nurturing it.
So, obviously all this is work, and it's not for the weary. You have to be the guy that is super motivated, because you could start to build a brand. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who got brands that are not as motivated as others, but they had to get there. And I would almost guarantee and venture out to say that most people who have branded themselves to a point where they're profiting from their brand, they have worked their asses off, excuse my language, but they have worked their asses off to get there. And I don't mean like gone and dig holes in the ground type of work. I'm talking about like put the time in and studied, did the videos, edited the videos, sent it out, had people help them. Whether they got a team or not, they're working. And they probably put in more hours than the average person does that works a 9 to 5. It's probably almost a 24-hour job. Even when you're sleeping, you're doing something. You got something working. You got other people working for you, doing things while you're whatever. You have to build a brand, and it takes time and it takes effort. We're building ours right now, and it's not like an overnight thing. We have, we're not able to build a brand. But hey, we want to be this, and now I want 1 million followers. It's not. That doesn't happen that way. There's been people who've been very lucky. They put out a video, got followers, but do we remember half those people today? Not really. They didn't really build a brand. They built a moment. A brand is something that will last, something will be there after the smoke clears. So build that brand. You might see people just like when a salesperson walks in a store and they come in and they dominate for like a month and they never sold cars before, right? And then they just start to fall apart. Well, they don't have stability yet. They don't have that brand that's sitting there that's going to make it through that. They just stirred up a bunch of stuff. They made a whole bunch of stuff go crazy, and people are like, what is that? I want it. And then they just never followed up with their brand. So you got to do that. You got to build that brand up. You got to remember that the work you put in, it may not see the results immediately. You may not see the results every day, but you will see it in the long run, and you will see major results from it by building your brand the correct way. But you got to make sure that brand is clear, and I'll go over that some more later. But you have to make sure that what you're putting out there isn't like so much stuff that they don't know what you're about. You have to be about something, and your brand has to represent what you are about. So, you can't be like, I'm an expert, a million different things. You can't be a jack of all trades. I mean, it can work, but who's going to really follow you? Who's going to really, I'd rather have the expert at one thing. Mm-hmm. I want to learn from the guy who absolutely knows nothing but what he's passionate about.
That's what we hire in our lives. These professionals that are experts at what it is that they do. I want the best plumber. I want the best detailer. I want the best in whatever service it is. I want the best surgeon. I want the best.
So what you're going to find is that we're saying that. You guys are thinking the same thing. You want the best this, but you want the best deal. How do you find out now? Well, what most people do now is they go to social media.
Boom.
They go there. When the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look and see who's got the coolest looking social media pages, who's got the coolest pictures of the work they've done, who's got the coolest pictures of the customers they've sold, who's got the coolest pictures of the lawns they've cut. Period. You're going to look for those. Then you're going to look even deeper. You're going to be like, okay, there's 3 local ones. I like their pictures. What's special about each one? Let me see their reviews. Then you're going to go on there. But it's all about that brand. You know, you're going to instantly, when you look at a Google page, Lou, tell me this. When you look at a Google page and there's top 3, okay, maybe you'll click the top one, but if there's 3 of them and one graphic is better than the other, you're going to pick on the cooler graphic usually because it looks cleaner. Somebody that has a web page, that stuff is important to some people. Somebody who has a Facebook page, and you're going to see that more. You're going to see Instagram pages, Snapchat pages. Who's got a TikTok? I mean, come on, man. TikTok is crushing it these days. But I'm saying, like, it is what it is, but you have to build your brand, and your brand has to be accessible almost anywhere now. I mean, and it's everywhere. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, even look at Will Smith and all these other people. Will Smith is Will Smith. He is a brand. Trust me, he's a brand. All you got to do is look at all his social media. This dude, you know he's making money from this stuff too. So just brand yourself. I'm not talking about like a horse or a cow. I'm talking about...
But still, be seared with the brand that it is that you are.
Yes,
let it be. It's going to burn you.
It's a good point.
There's going to be a chance that you get burnt and somebody doesn't like your brand. But guess what? There's going to be plenty that do. And you be the most authentic version of you, and that brand is worth buying into. But the first one that has to be able to buy into your brand is you. You, car guy. You, car gal. You have to buy your own brand.
You
have to believe
it,
that you're helping
who
people.
Will?
You have to believe that you're worth visiting. You have to believe that the process that you utilize and you work is actually something that you believe in. If not, you need to make a change. You need to adjust that. Listen, your reputation, this is what Henry Ford said about your reputation. He said, your reputation can't, let me say it exactly how it's actually quoted because I'll break it up. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. So you wanting to make things happen, you wanting to accomplish things is great. Write those things down. Put those on a to-do list. Make those be things that you are targeting. Put them on a actual target board. Put it on a dry erase board, on any kind of board. Something for you to look at on your notepad, on your favorite book. Write it down, what that brand is, what it is that you're trying to be, and be that. Again, the most authentic and best version of you is what everybody truly wants to buy into and what you are the best at selling once you get encountered with it. Be that. Expose that. Show that to the world. And make sure that you are not slowing down in your approach to making that better. You don't ever want to be complacent inside of perfecting your brand.
No. You don't want to be complacent in anything, people. Whether it's your relationships, your friendships, your job, your brand. Complacency is the number one killer of almost everything. You know, be active always. Always assume that you have to be your best at all times. You know, have integrity. Always do your best. Be your best. Wake up every day with the intentions that I'm going to kill it today. You know, like I say, and it's a new quote I just came up with is, I hate to sound corny, it's a new quote I came up with, but don't let life crush you, crush life. And you need to do that. And if you wake up every day with the intentions that I'm going to crush it today, you will. But you have to follow through, have commitment, and you have to always not have complacency, like you said. Complacency, as I say. That's what I said, Lou.
Yeah.
You heard what I said.
I said them things.
But I mean, he's right, though. I mean, you can't be that way if you're trying to build your brand. You have to be so dang active. You have to be so hard. You have to have so much. You have to have more passion than anybody else out there who's even working with you. Somebody who's working for you has to feel your passion. Somebody who's working with you has to feel your passion. Somebody who's looking at your brand and wanting to be part of your brand has to feel your passion. If they don't feel it and they feel like this guy doesn't even really care, he's not even really trying,